Hello, I'm Chris Armstrong. Welcome back for another video. I'm glad I didn't explicitly say I was going to read these in chronological order because I'm skipping ahead to try and be on brand for next week's EuroSTAR to blog number 37, I think, which is somewhere in the front. Look at me steaming up. It's summer here. Isn't that wonderful? All right, let's crack on. These are my confessions as a huddler. I was a little bit loose with the lyrics this time because it was a bit hard. Stop. Huddle time. Alright, so this has been updated a couple times. So this one I did for EuroSTAR originally, but let's just dive in. So with EuroSTAR 2019, EuroSTAR 2019, fast approaching, I'm building towards my 5th stint volunteering in the community Huddle at EuroSTAR and EuroSTAR. Other wonderful conferences, of course, are available. Now, what are we now? EuroSTAR 2023 coming up just next week, and once again I am going to be on the community huddle. That will be my 7th huddle at EuroSTAR, 2 done at EuroSTAR. Wow, what a journey. Okay, look, there's me on the EuroSTAR Twitter, Huddle Supreme, in full flow in the coffee break. I like people, especially tester people. So it's a long old slog, but it's a very rewarding one. And here's my way of running my very own retrospective of all of them to date. And I'll try and embellish where I can, in no particular order, and then what I'm looking forward to this year, which I guess I will embellish as well. Now, looking forward to EuroSTAR 2019, I've got a new responsibility, 2019 Community Huddle host, and what that means, what I'm looking forward to and what my goals are. You can meet the volunteer team. Yes, now the conference this year has got an app called Hoover. I suggest you get on it, and you will find volunteers called cadets, huddle hosts, test lab and test clinic folks. But find the volunteers, give them a high five. They're giving up a lot of their time to do some cool work to make the conference as good as possible. Now, what is the huddle? The community huddle, that'd be nice. The community huddle has two guises. The online community presence of the EuroSTAR blogs, testers chats, webinars, etc. They're all hosted there. That's where you can find it. That's not the focus of this blog, and I can't confess to have contributed much to that, apart from the inauguration, I suppose, of the 9 out of 10 testers. We did a EuroSTAR huddle community session on testing voices some 2 years ago, so that's quite an exciting place to have started. But it has had a facelift. Check it out. There's some cool things on there, some cool content, podcasts, blogs and such. But the expo booth, hosted at EuroSTAR and the former UK Star conferences, that used to be called the Hub, now EuroSTAR. So here's my little intro that I wrote for the 2019 EuroSTAR. I'm honoured to be the first Huddle director. I don't think we really have those things so much anymore, but leading a wonderful team of volunteers in the Huddle area at EuroSTAR. Some of the greatest and most valuable experiences that I have had attending conferences has been through conversations that I have had with my fellow testers. That's why the Huddle exists. The Huddle is hosted by the testing community for the testing community. And we have 3 distinctive areas, and I want to invite you all to explore them all. The test clinic is where you can discuss, debug, dive deeper one-on-one with an expert in the field of testing. Our volunteer doctors will be joined by some guests from different testing fields with whom you can book your sessions to get to the bottom of your testing issues. They also host some really cool deep dives. The test lab is where you can get stuck in. Our team will be hosting games, puzzles, hands-on activities where you can learn by doing and practically enjoying our craft. This year the test clinic is headed up by the great Russell Craxford of Testing Peers, and the test lab by Rick Marsalis. Really, really cool people. The Huddle is at the heart of the people side of testing. We will have games, couch sessions with some of the speakers and your opportunity to get on the soapbox. I'm not sure we have that this year, but you will have a chance to share your ideas and really get involved. Browse the timetable of events in the guide, which is just a small sample of what's happening. Please come and say hello to any of the volunteers, get more information, and keep an eye out for announcements on the Hoover app. That's still true. Instagram and Twitter will also be there, and LinkedIn, I suppose, using the hashtag EuroStarConf. Still true. The Huddle is here for you, so make sure you get involved, meet delegates, and get the most out of your opportunity to learn, share, and explore and connect. There's stickers. We'll do lean coffees. We'll have sessions to meet the speakers, some games, some Lego, all that good stuff. The EuroSTAR conference team wrote a nice little intro to this year's EuroSTAR conference. I bet that link doesn't even work. That'll be fun to find out. Oh, it does. There we go. Lean Coffee, first time conference networking, Huddle stand-ups, games. There I am with a duck pond. We don't have a duck pond this year. Ronan left. So we've kind of just ditched the duck pond. But there's lots of good stuff. So how did I become a volunteer and why? This was by pure chance for me, actually. I follow a lot of Twitter accounts, a bit less so now, post-Musk. But if I find the word tester in a bio, I'm quite likely to follow. I do the same with LinkedIn and a little bit on Mastodon. And one such account was EuroSTAR's Huddle account. I was browsing Twitter one evening while sitting on the floor of my youngest son's bedroom whilst I held his hand to help him to sleep. And I came across a call for volunteers for the upcoming EuroSTAR conference, which was the 25th anniversary in Copenhagen 2017. There were 4 areas that you could volunteer for: cadets, test clinic, test lab and Huddle. For cadets, help to facilitate the conference, they steward, help out wherever required, and they are everywhere and they are awesome. For test clinic, volunteers get to wear special doctor's jackets and they're there to help solve issues, and again, selfless and awesome. The test lab is where demonstrable testing takes place, from robots and coding to bug hunts and other fun activities. It's a hustle and bustle and it's so much fun, it's so busy. The Huddle, though, stood out for me. When I talk about what my favourite aspect of testing is, I always go to the people side of things. I love people, I love coaching, I love getting the best out of people, I love sharing stories and experiences. I also had the experience of having been massively overwhelmed at the very first conference I went to, and I wanted to enable others to get more out of their conference experience than simply the wide range of talks on offer. Conferences of any size can be quite a lonely place, and all you need sometimes is a friendly face. Also, volunteers receive a free conference ticket, which of course they should, and I don't think I could have attended in any other way. As I mentioned in a blog that I haven't yet read, interesting, it's a bit Inception, at my workplace we encourage testers to be engaged in the wider testing community, including blogs, meetups and conference attendance, so walking the talk is important. So, what went well? Well, to keep from writing a full retro, here's just a few things. Lean coffees. Even if this isn't the most well-attended event on the calendar, candid and useful conversations always take place in these sessions. I think they're the best way to start the day on a conference, or pretty much anywhere. So much fun. Lean coffees, we're doing them again this year. Please come along. Myself and Dragan will be running them in the Huddle. Couch sessions. These are where speakers at the conference are invited to host a more intimate and informal session on a topic of their choice. Within the Huddle space, where usually we've got couches, or beanbags or something similar like that. I'm often in awe of these famous testers who are willing to give up their time to share their wealth of knowledge and experience. At EuroSTAR, we introduced such a thing as a stand-up because we didn't have couches, but we'll have nice seats at EuroSTAR this year. Soapbox sessions, a bit like lightning talks, willing delegates given a time to propose ideas, to speak. Like, we have lightning talks now, lightning strikes and things, but I think having the chance to sort of have a little bit of a platform to talk is still really important. Get started on that journey. Introducing new ideas. I could have wrapped these into preceding 3 bullet points, but I wanted to emphasize the value of having a space to talk about and demonstrate new ideas to people. I'm a visual learner and this is right up my street. So at EuroSTAR 2019, we introduced test and risk storming cards by our good friend Beren. Here's a deck. I will have them with me at EuroSTAR. Come and check them out. And you can buy your own at Ministry of Testing store. Here's the lovely Beren seeing what we've been doing, spreading the love for deliberate testing with risk storming. I'm 100% bought into risk storming. I think it's awesome. Games and prizes, we do have them. We all love swag. How we facilitate that, be it through games and things. Come along, there'll be some swag. Stickers, you get a nice little badge, you can decorate it, have your national flags, other little fun things you have. Be a bit punny, proclaim tester types and all those sorts of things. Conversation starters, always useful. We have our first timer networking session. This is also going to take place 10:15 in the Huddle on Wednesday. This time round, discussion spaces for various different sessions. We've definitely done ones for women in tech, not hosted by me, a man, obviously, thank goodness. And lots of other exciting things have gone down, sometimes on the fly, sometimes we plan them well in advance. Keep your eye on the Huddle conversation on the Hoover app. Things that didn't go well when we did those. We had couch sessions planned, but there was a fire alarm. Well, that was bad, wasn't it? At EuroSTAR 2018, we replaced the soapbox with a stage that was apparently too intimidating. We only had one person, the lovely Joanna, braving the stage. So that's true. I mean, if it's your first time, certainly it's quite scary. We've given away too many prizes too soon and run out. Fair enough. We've given away too few prizes and had too many left over. Last year in Copenhagen, we didn't get some prizes arrive until the last day, so we had to kind of throw them at people. I've hosted solo at the EuroSTAR conferences, and when I've attended talks and track chairing or other things, I haven't been present for delegates to interact with. The Huddle, is that a blessing in disguise? I'm not sure, but doing it by yourself is pretty tricky, so it's nice that there'll be a team. There's probably more things, but maybe too close to the Huddle to see all the areas. But why did I come back for more? Well, on the one hand, it was a bit of ego, I suppose. They seemed to like me and asked me to come back. Words of affirmation can be motivators, and I'm not shy to admit it. Conferences are a huge source of impetus to recharge and inspiration. The medium of talks in a live environment are second to none. I'm always more engaged in such an environment than, say, via its online counterpart, the webinar. The presence of a speaker, whether it be hugely energetic, funny, raw, emotional, honest and humble, captures my attention and enables me to learn more from their experiences than I ever could have in written word. I've used several talks that I've attended as points of reference for blogs, in conversations with colleagues or peers, and I expect to do so more. I get so much from interacting with other testers, sharing ideas, anecdotes, struggles and so on, and such a great way to learn and also to teach. Testers are naturally keen learners, and we often teach organically. Conversations create content, drive our development both in personal and professional, and feed into our working lives. If I didn't feel like I was doing a good job, I would stand aside. I don't know how I'd feel attending just as a delegate, maybe even a speaker one day. Hey, that's happened. Awesome. And not being on the Huddle. How could things improve? Well, I'd like to think that things have incrementally improved on each occasion, but I honestly believe that all things have potential to improve all the time. And I'm critical of my own work, always. Back when the Huddle was the hub, they had a backdrop, which was a black chalkboard-esque wall. It was like a space where they could have the opportunity and space for those who have got artistic tendencies to express themselves. Now, I'm not very artistic, but I would love if we could have those sorts of things back. It's fair to say that for some, the hustle and bustle environment during the break times at a conference can be quite overwhelming, and the last thing you would want is to go somewhere with a lot more stimulation. Sometimes there's a real chill, and to have somewhere like a need for a real chill and to have a quiet solace place, and having that quiet space we do, which is really cool. I don't know whether that's something that can be facilitated at the Huddle though, because that's quite a busy place, but it definitely is a valuable space, and we do have them. So back as a Huddle director, what does that mean? Well, firstly, being asked to come back is a massive honour, and doing so as someone to help coordinate the community team is incredibly humbling, exciting, and of course terrifying. What we have looked to change is greater coordination, feeling of togetherness as a team. Hopefully we'll be all connected and you'll see some interconnectedness amongst us. We'll address these. Well, here we had them all together. We're separated this year a little bit. Expo halls kind of change. There's not a lot we can do about that. But we still got the test lab with hands-on activities, the test clinic still super valuable with one-on-one, and the Huddle with highly enjoyable madness too. A lot more joined up timetable stuff. We won't be bound by our specific areas. There are many ways to plug events and encourage interaction at conferences. And the Hoover app is still ongoing, and presently I am still number one. But I hope very much that I'm not, because I'm going to be quite busy at the conference this year. But my goodness, I do love a bit of interaction. Beyond that, quiet room, fantastic. Tech-free zone. I forget what that's like sometimes, don't you? It's not much of a confession, which is fair enough. So here's the struggle. There is a sacrifice to be given to serve the community, and that is time, to a lesser degree financial. I want to concentrate on the former here. It is exhausting. This advice I give to those attending is to take time for yourself so you don't burn out. Conferences can be full on, and you want to attend everything. So imagine doing that and hosting a community booth where you're constantly engaging and networking, discussing and sharing your great enthusiasm for a duck pond. Well, that's not there, so that's... Whew. I have now learnt how to manage that, but it isn't easy, and the harder part, of course, persists, and that's still time away from my family. We have a lovely family unit, and I always feel a bit guilty when I'm away. My wife works incredibly hard, and she doesn't get a break when I'm away. I can only thank them for their support they've given me over the years, and I always look forward to returning home. They're the reason that I am motivated to continuously improve myself in the first place, and I do love them all. So for those of you who are going to be at EuroSTAR this year, I hope to see you there. If anyone's ever considering volunteering at a conference, I recommend it wholeheartedly. Get involved, support all the conferences that you can, and I'll see you again next time.